So it's day 3 and we are ready to start working on the site. So today we're going to be adding the 2 different levels and making them work together. So you'll be assembling that. And then we finally get to move into the last exterior walls of both cottages. And these are our glass walls. So on the larger cottage, you see that we have this very, very large wall that is basically the main view out of this house. So you'll be working on that as well as the column that comes right in the middle. And then we have this other very large window, which is the entrance and exit to this cottage. And then on the smaller one, we have this very large piece of glass here too, that is going to close off that cottage, and it gives a great view for the people that are inside. And that's going to wrap it up for today.
All right, welcome to day 3. Let's open up our packages and see what our pieces are for today. For day 3, you will have 2 packages. You'll have a large one here and a small one. I'm gonna open the big one first. Okay, so in my large package, I have a big square rectangular shaped piece of foam core. This is gonna be the base for our model. We have a wooden piece here with some holes and a jagged edge. We'll go over that in a few minutes here. And then in our small pack, all right, this is the fun package. This is the package that has a bunch of cool pieces in it. You'll see here we have a column. This one's labeled C1. We have here a rectangular piece. This one's labeled RL. This is going to be a lower roof. And then this is the fun stuff. So this is called acrylic. So you have 4 pieces. 3 of them are really sharp and pointy, and 1 of them is rectangular here. These are going to be the glass and or the windows on our cabin. So I want you to make sure you're very, very careful with these walls here. These are pointed and they are kind of sharp. So I want you to take care and make sure you take very good care of these pieces, put them somewhere safe. We're going to use all of them today. They're gonna all get glued into our model, but just want you to be careful, okay? All right, so let's get started. I have here our large cabin, the one with the big window opening on the side, and I have a piece labeled RL. This is RL, it means roof lower. This is actually going to be an eyebrow or a horizontal roof over top of our large window opening here. It's gonna go here like this. So I want you to be gentle with your model. It doesn't have any walls on this side, so it is still a little fragile. What I'm going to do, I'm gonna place my model down with the large opening facing up, okay? And we're going to take our roof lower piece here, and this is going to sit right in here. The bottom's going to align with the top of the opening, and the top should align with the top of your stone. Remember we drew that red line, or my line's red, yours might be pencil color. That's where the top of that wall or that roof will align. So real simple, we're gonna run a bead of glue along this edge and put it in place. Okay, so that's our eyebrow on the large cabin here. You can see here that it's straight up and down. I've put it in place. I've run my finger right along this edge to make sure it's aligned. And we want to leave this one sitting just like this until it's done drying so that it doesn't fall over. So put this somewhere safe. And then what I'd like for you to do is grab your white foam core rectangle and your large piece of site here made out of wood. So this is resembling stone. So we have like a jagged edge here that resembles like the stone edge of a rock or the edge of a cliff. So we have that here. And what we're going to do, the wood will line up with your foam, like so. And this is going to be the beginning of where we place our cabins on the site. So the alignment is like that on the bottom and the sides. So what we're going to do is take our wood piece, turn it over. So you see you have this side that has our rectangle here. That's where one of our cabins will go. We're gonna put glue on the opposite side, in the back. So I like to run glue along the edges and then in the middle, and that'll give it good attachment. Okay, so I checked my edges, made sure that they aligned with the white foam core. Now this is a big surface to glue, so what I'd like for you to do is put this one underneath a heavy book to hold it down in place until it's dry. So go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back. All right, so now we get to work with the acrylic. I have here our large cabin here. The eyebrow is now dry and in place, doesn't fall. And I have the rectangular piece of acrylic, okay? So all the acrylic comes with a paper backing. So what we need to do is pull on the corner and peel off that paper backing that keeps the face clean from fingerprints and things like that. So what I'd like for you to do is tilt your cabin onto its side just like this. And if you notice on your acrylic, you will see that there are lines. Those represent the glass or the glass panels. And there's a outline along the edges. What I'd like for you to do is, the bottom has a line here, the top doesn't. All right, so what I'd like you to do is grab the acrylic panel with your fingers on the bottom, and then on the bottom of your floor plan here, we have a slot. So we'll take the acrylic and slide it right into that slot, all the way up into the cabin, and then it's going to hit the interior wall and stop. And then it's gonna fall down a little bit like this. That's how it should be, okay? And what I'd like for you to do is grab your sight. Okay. So we have our sight here, and there's a notch in the wood right here. So this is actually where the back corner of our cabin is going to sit. It's gonna sit right in here, all right? So we'll take our cabin here, like so. And what I'm going to do is hold on to the glass with my finger, kind of like this, and show you the bottom. So this will sit just like so on the floor plan like that, okay? So I'm going to hold the glass like this, turn it over, and then we're going to apply glue to the bottom. Okay, we have the glue. Carefully hold on to your glass piece, turn it over, and then slide it right into that corner. Okay, so the cabin's touching the wood on this side and on this side, and it's in place. The glue is still wet. What we're going to do now, I'm going to tip this up to show it to you, but we need to glue in the glass wall. So we're going to place a little dab of glue right here and right here, so that the glass glues itself to the wood and holds itself in place. So once I put the glue on there, the wall kind of stuck right to it, and it's holding itself in place. What I would do is hold it with your finger for a little bit until the glue sets up and it is secure. So that's our cottage there. It's in place. We just gotta wait for that glue to dry. All right, so while the glass is drying on our large cottage, we are going to glue our small cottage to the site. So we made it really easy for you. We have a rectangle here on the wood. It says F1. This small cottage will sit right on that rectangle there where the F1 is. So all I need to do is apply glue to the edges in the middle of the bottom of this cottage and put it in place. All right, so I have my glue, and I didn't tell you this yet. but the cottage will sit like this. So the opening, remember where we're missing the glass, is gonna face towards the large cottage. So it'll go in this orientation. Not like this, like this. I'm gonna hold this here for a few seconds to let the glue set and get it to secure itself to the base. Okay, small cottage is glued to the site. We're gonna let this one dry and we're gonna come back over to the large cottage. So now you see on the front here, we have a big opening that we need to fill. So what I'd like for you to do is grab the two large acrylic pieces. These two are the same size. Okay. And your column. The column has a label C1 on it. Okay. First thing we're going to do is we're going to peel the paper off the back of these, and then we'll get into gluing them. So we have the glass here. The glass is going to sit in the slot on the floor that we've created for you. So these are going to sit right in here like this. Okay. There are alignment lines on the side walls for where they're going to be positioned, like so. And then in the middle, what we're going to do is place the column, the C1 column. I'm going to place the C1 on the top, and we're going to slide it in from the top. I'm showing you this now without glue, and then we'll glue it. So that's going to sit right there, like so. Okay, so that's what we're going to go for. I'm going to walk you through the gluing process now. So we'll start with this side here. It's my left. I'm going to go inside here like this. That's what we're going to do, is we're going to glue these just like they're wood. Now with acrylic, you do need to be careful because if there's extra glue on it, it will show up. So we're gonna make sure you've had a lot of practice gluing. So now I want you to just do the glue light on the bottom and on this side. And then this will sit in that slot and touch the wall right where that line was. And you can just hold it there for a minute. The glue's not set yet, but we're going to do the same thing to the other side. So just notice here, I'm putting the glue on this side here, the shorter side, not the long side in the middle, but this side here, and then the bottom. We're going to do the same thing and slide that into the slot in the floor. And then let it touch the wall. So those are in there like that. You have the peak or the point in the middle. And what we're going to do now is place the wood in here. So what I would like for you to do is the column is going to sit in here like this. Is we're going to put a little bit of glue on the bottom. And then I'm going to show you how to slide it in place, and then we'll put some glue at the top. So what we're going to do is slide this down into the gap between the walls. And then it's going to line up on the yellow of the floor plan. Like that. Okay. So it's in place there. Okay. Now what I'd like for you to do is actually take the column and we're going to slide it forward a little bit, just like that. And we're going to put a little dab of glue here and a little dab of glue right here on the top. Okay, that's probably too much, so I'm going to take a little bit off with my finger. And now we're going to slide that back in place and lined up with the glass to hold it all together. So now the glue does take a little bit longer to dry on the acrylic than it does on wood or paper. So what I want you to do is be very delicate and gentle with your model here. While this dries, we're going to move back over to the small cottage, and we're going to do the same thing with this piece of glass. So we'll peel the paper off. And then this one here will sit into this slot on the plan and line up with the angled wall right there. So here we're going to put glue on 3 sides. We're going to glue here, here, and here. And remember, just a little bit of glue on the acrylic. All right, so we have 3 sides of glue. We'll slide this in place. Remember to push it down into the hole in the plan, and then match it up. I got a little bit of glue on the outside of mine. That's okay. It will dry clear, so we can kind of clean it off here. And if there's any left on there, what you can do is, once it's dry, is we can kind of scrape it off with our fingernail. But there it is. You have 2 cottages. They have all their walls. They have some beautiful blue glass. They have fun columns. They have a roof. We're almost there. We have 2 more days. You're doing a great job. I just wanted to show you something here on the site, just so you know. We have these holes. These are going to be where the trees are going to go. We didn't miss a step. That's coming up, so get excited about it. Those are going to be fun. This was a lot of fun for me. I hope it was a lot of fun for you, and we'll see you tomorrow.